Alright guys, so everyone requested a 50,000 subscriber Q&A video where you asked me questions in the comment section of my last video and I answered them in this video, and I just kind of screenshotted my favorite ones and I'm going to go over them. They're not necessarily the most popular ones that I saw were asked the most often, but they seem to hold the most relevance, and the ones that, or they're kind of the ones that I found were the most important for me and that I thought that were the most interesting. So I hope it's kind of entertaining to watch in a way. I hope I don't let you down. If I don't answer your question, I'm sorry. There was like 400 of them combined between Twitter and YouTube, so I couldn't get to all of them, but I wanted to answer the most interesting ones in one video. So the first one is, how and when did you meet players like Triple, Lumi, Hype, and ZL Chris? Starting off with Triple, I actually went into a Rumble around 2 years ago, probably now. However long Destiny's been out, it was like a few months after that, a month or two. I went into Rumble and I matched against a player named Like Butter, who was an IM at the time, and he was the #1 ranked DTR beta player. He released a montage that got hundreds of thousands of views, and everyone was trying to get into IM after that, leading up to the release of Destiny. So as soon as I saw him in my lobby, I freaked out. I wanted to beat him, and I think I won like 1 or 2 games. At that point, I was just like, I played, I think, like 8 sensitivity, and I was shotgun and stuff. I was a complete trash can, but he welcomed me with open arms. And from then on, I started sniping and changing up to like playing gunslinger and doing different stuff like that. I would play control with him, and we just farm and like pick up heavy and just destroy everyone. And me and Ultra Garbage, if you've seen him on Twitter or maybe watch my streams, you might be familiar with him. We queued into control, not on purpose. We didn't do any stream sniping, but we got matched up against Triple because Like Butter was the party leader of that session. So because we live in the same town, me and Butter, we matched up against each other once again. And I think I had like 38 kills or something while I was using Hawkmoon Sniper on a gunslinger. So that, I guess, kind of got myself on the map, so to speak, with Triple and them. So once that kind of went over, a few months later, I received a PSN message from Butta saying, hey, do you want to join IM? We're going to do this whole thing where we play in tournaments and stuff, and you're one of the only people that I know that does like sweaties and all that. So I was able to join. Long story short, I kind of met him through Butta. There was no like one-on-one encounter or whatever, but it was kind of like linked through multiple people. I met him. As far as other people, Lumi, I met him, I think I was playing Skirmish, and this wasn't like Invigorate was super known at the time for PvP and PvE, and I didn't know him specifically. I just knew the clan he was in. So we ended up running into each other in Skirmish on Shores of Time. I'm not quite sure who won, but it was like right when final round came out, and even if you're like a moral person, you still final rounded just because it was like this new thing that everyone was trying, and it was super stupid. But like I think I final rounded for like a week or something just to try it out to see how broken it was, and then I set it down. But at that time, I was playing with 2 really stubborn people that wouldn't switch off of it, so it ended up just being a final round battle. It was pretty stupid, but from then on, we started doing like pickup sweats and 6v6s like every Friday night, and that's how like the whole sweaty scene started. It was like me, Frostbolt, Insanity, Lumi, Anbu, General Matsumoto, people like that. We would just play every night, and that's what kind of launched the whole sweaty community, I guess. The next question, or actually no, not the next question, the next person is Chris, ZL Chris. So I didn't really meet him in any spectacular way. We're just on the forums, and we were like, hey, it was on like some top PvP player post talking about like top streamers and stuff, and we kind of linked up through there. And at that time, 13 Devils wasn't actually made yet at that point. He was still in a clan called Zero Limit. That's what ZL in his name stands for. And it was just a group of him and his in real life friends. So we didn't really play that much, but that's kind of how I met him, I guess. Hype was kind of this, I don't remember how I met him, but I think he like played in some tournament and then messaged me afterwards or something. I don't actually remember that one. But the next question is, let's see, it's from Lok de Penenokoek. I'm not quite sure how to pronounce it. It kind of confused me with the spelling, but it says, how does your normal life look? Girlfriend, kids, house, work, school, etc. House, I'm a junior in high school, so I don't own a house. I live in a house, but it's not my house. Kids, no kids yet. No high school kids. No plan on anything like that happening anytime soon. Girlfriend, I do have a girlfriend that I met at my latest school that I transferred to. I went to a public charter school for the longest time, and then I switched over to a normal public school this past year, and she's wonderful. Just great. If I'm not streaming, chances are I'm ditching everyone to hang out with her. So she's great. I don't work anywhere. This is kind of like my job, my quote-unquote job. It's not a job, it's not a burden. There's no real work ethic to it. It's just a hobby that like think about like that really cool like multimedia class or some sort of elective you get into where you make stuff like projects and you actually enjoy it. It's basically that, and I'm super fortunate to do it because the income is good and I don't have to actually go out and work for anything. So it's like a perfect college job. If I can continue that, that would be great. But for now, it's just sort of a high school thing. I'm going into my senior year this year, so we'll see what we can get done this year. The next question came from Mahul Soni. His question is, when did you start YouTube and why? So I started YouTube I'd say like 2 to 3 months before Destiny came out, and I started it as a Call of Duty channel. Call of Duty is a game where it's so hard to grow at all because the community is so well established to the point where there's not really any opportunity for new people to grow. And Destiny is like this new big game that's coming out. No one is really established too much besides news people like More Console. I remember I subscribed to Dado when he had like 2,000 subs. More Console when he's at like 5,000. I'd been following Destiny for a while, and I was kind of like obsessed with it. And the funny thing is, I bought it for PvE, and then when I played the alpha and the beta, that's kind of when I fell in love with PvP. As far as YouTube's going, I started, it was probably like 2 full years ago, and I slowly worked my way up. None of the equipment that I have used or that I am using is paid for by my parents. Everything that has been done and purchased has been through first lawn mowing money, and then once I was able to kind of support myself on YouTube, then all my YouTube money goes to upgrades and food and stuff like that. I just wanted to say thank you to John. You know who you are, John. John was a person who came in when I had like 3,000 subs, and he bought me an actual computer, a full computer. He donated that much money to the point where if he didn't donate that money, chances are I wouldn't be making videos right now, and I would have never even gotten close to how successful I have been. Even though it's not like I'm that successful, to the point and the degree that I've gotten is entirely to John. He's pretty much done everything. I was working on a word processing sort of laptop with old editing software, and from then everything from the point of him buying me that computer has changed completely. So he has been a huge part of what I've done on YouTube so far, so thanks to John. So in short, I started like 2 years ago, started with COD, switched to Destiny, and that's where the success came, I guess. I started uploading a lot of sweaty stuff. I was one of the first people to do that. So I guess that's kind of cool. One person, his name is Urk, says, why don't you ever really play with people, with other YouTubers like Nkooch, Hush, Mtash, etc.? By the way, I think it would help your channel grow if you did. So the reason, it's not like I have a reason I don't play with other YouTubers. In general, like Nkooch isn't really in my friends group or my circle of friends. He has his own like clan and circle of buddies. I know that Nkooch, Cruiser, and Hush play a lot, and I think Blessius too. I've never really been involved in like a string of YouTubers. I've made a few videos with Mtash in the past. As you've probably seen, we did like a few sniper challenges and stuff like that, and we plan to do more stuff in the future, but we kind of just forgot and blown it over, I guess. But I definitely have made videos with other YouTubers. I've made one with True Vanguard, I think, and a few with Mtash. I'm just not really involved in that circle of like group of friends or whatever. So I mean, I could reach out and see if they want to make a video, but at this point, like, if all these people he's mentioning have more subs than me, it's gonna look like I'm crawling to them begging for coins or begging for whatever, you know. So I don't really want to. If people want to work with me, then that's great. That's super cool. I appreciate that a ton, but I'm not really gonna go looking or pursuing anything. I know it would help my channel grow, but so far everything I've done has been by myself. I did want to say thank you to True Vanguard and Mtash. They've also helped me a ton in the past, gaining subscribers and making good videos and stuff like that. So then to them, thank you so much. But for the most part, I've kind of remained to myself about most of the stuff I do on YouTube. The next question comes from Lucasel9, who says, Q&A question: do you care about stats as a sweaty player? There was a point in time in Destiny where I did care about stats. This was very long ago. This was like the time where people were just like 3-man pub stomping skirmish all day with their buddies over Christmas break. That's kind of the only time I cared about it. My KD has plummeted so bad from sweaties. Like, there was the longest time where all I did was play sweats all day, and from then on, like, until that point where I kind of stopped playing sweats, that's when skill-based matchmaking came around, and it's hard to even score anything above a 2KD now, especially like when you get put in the set of players that are at your skill level or slightly above or slightly lower. Most of those people watch YouTube videos or they watch streams, they're aware of who players are, and if they know who I am, it's their life mission to beat me or any other YouTuber or streamer that they come across. So it's pretty difficult now, but at the end of the day, I don't really care about stats. I don't think I've checked mine in forever. If you do check them, they're probably pretty terrible, so you shouldn't even bother. The next question is, how do you make your thumbnails? This is a question that I get a lot. As far as the art for it, most of the time I don't make the art. I'll put some links to the artists if I can find them, but most of the time, if I had, let's just say I'm making a shade step video, right? Most people would put in Destiny shade step search and then find a picture. I always include the word art at the very end, because if you can get something with an artistic spin on it, it looks that much better. If you want to get a picture of Shax, don't put Shax and then get the little screenshot of him at the tower or whatever as a vendor. Try to find someone who made some cool artwork with it. If you can find who the artist is, that maybe they have a website, then definitely plug them in the descriptions and the description of the video. A lot of times I forget because I'm just a terrible person and I forget a lot of things. But if you can find some good art, then go ahead and go for it, because it looks so much better at the end of the day. And usually what happens recently, what I've been doing is you get the art and then you get another picture that you drag on. You go to colorize in GIMP and then you go to lightness, make it all the way black, crop it to the section you want, turn the opacity to like 60% or so, and then place that underneath the text that you have. You can go to defont.com to get some cool text, fonts and stuff like that. So that's mainly what I've been using. I don't use Photoshop. I do have Photoshop. I use that for like alphaing stuff and stuff like that. But as far as like creating my thumbnails as a whole, I use GIMP, which is a free program that I've used forever, and it's pretty complicated if you're not used to it. So I've been using it for a long time, and fortunately I've gotten pretty used to it. Another person, Jack Sheehan, asks, would you ever consider doing sweats against the Dream Team? The Dream Team is another group of people that I haven't really talked to much. I have talked to Rabbi a few times, and I think he knows of who I am. Mr. Fruit I actually knew when he had 2,000 subs, but we never really talked that much. So if they wanted to play against me and a few of my buddies as a match for a YouTube video, then that would be super cool. But I mean, I'm down for it, but I don't really know if I have the resources to pursue trying to get a game or whatever for a YouTube video. I could look into that in the future, but for now, I'm not quite sure if that would ever happen. Another question comes from HVN Chucks. How do you feel about the poor support the Bungie has given to the competitive side of Destiny? So, custom matches, right? Everyone has been talking about them for like a year and a half, and they're still not in the game. Personally, I mean, the game was never really going to go competitive anyways. If there was support for the game, then it would be reflected in weapon patches and subclass balances. But the fact of the matter is, it's a casual game, and unless they go through like just like super big changes in Destiny 2, it's going to remain that way for a super long time. So I don't really see it changing any near time in the future, and I really, you know, it's sad that they haven't supported the side of Destiny at all, but at the same time, it's kind of like I expected it. So yeah, that's kind of the main questions that I saw. I didn't want to make this a 30-minute video. I hope this was short enough. Another thing that I did want to talk about is their new Kontrol Freeks that just came out that are Destiny themed. I'll have a link for them in the description if you want to pick them up. I do have a discount code for them. If you put SirDimetrious as your discount code, you save 10%, and I get a little bit of that money to help me make better videos. But I hope you guys enjoyed the video. I hope you enjoyed the Q&A. I might do a gaming setup video soon, but this is kind of it for the video. I didn't want to make it too long. So I hope you guys enjoyed listening to what I had to say, answering a few of your questions. And yeah, I'll see you guys next time. Peace.